Hey, what's up, YouTube? So, in response to your marijuana rant, it's pretty much all that was. Worthless rant. Wasting my time. You repeatedly said that you did not like marijuana. You didn't want it in your state. You didn't want it in your country, etc., etc. I hate to break it to you, but it's there. Making it illegal does not remove its presence at all, whatsoever. All it does is flog our prisons and courts and waste tax dollars on prosecuting individuals who, besides smoking pot, are not criminals at all. Um, when you think about it, smoking pot, if I smoke pot, does that make me a threat to anyone else? A threat to society? Not really. Pot smokers are actually very mild. Domestic crime related to alcohol is far, far, far greater than marijuana. I've never heard of anybody getting so high they beat the shit out of their wife. But how many cases have you heard? Alcoholics beating their wives. But you don't hear anybody screaming about any of that stuff. Um, Before I get off the point, smoking marijuana makes actually people more docile. It does not lead to violent crime. It does lead to violent crime. A lot of that is because of the illegality of it. It's in the hands of criminals, and it makes ordinary people like me and you deal with those criminals. Those drug dealers. It can be very awkward dealing with a drug dealer. I'd much rather purchase it from a store, personally. Um, Anyway, in response to you thinking that the youth would be adversely affected by the legalization of marijuana, I have to disagree with you. I personally think that, I know from experience, because I went through high school, I graduated, um, class of '09. Woo! That's the point. When I was in high school, it's a whole lot easier to find weed than alcohol. It was a whole lot easier to get a dime bag of marijuana than to get a 6 pack of beer because drug dealers don't ask for IDs. You just go and you buy it, and they don't really care. They just want their money. Whereas a state licensed seller of marijuana, if it was legal, can get their license revoked and all this other nonsense. So they're not gonna sell directly to kids. Will it still be possible for younger adolescents to obtain marijuana? Yes. Is it still possible for them to get alcohol? Yes. But is it a whole lot easier for them to get marijuana right now? Yes. It's very easy to get marijuana. Pretty much any American who really, really wanted to get it could probably find a way to get it within 24 hours. A pot smoker is arrested every 38 seconds, which is a ridiculous statistic. It's just grown to show um, how completely absurd this war on drugs has become. Um, I honestly think that we should legalize marijuana, and it's really a question of choice. Um, is it fair to deny a pot smoker the choice to choose to do a safer alternative to alcohol? I mean, alcohol leads to, I think, about 100,000 deaths per year. Tobacco, 400,000. Marijuana, 0. There's yet to be a documented case of a marijuana overdose. There is no lethal dose. Binge drinking in colleges leads to many deaths per year. Even, like prescribed drugs, I think, record a statistic of somewhere around 80,000 deaths per year. I could be wrong on that one, I'm not sure. But marijuana, still 0. So it's safer than alcohol, and yet we're driving people to drink by it being illegal. It's really, like I said, a question of choice. Is it fair for someone else, like yourself, to tell me that I can't smoke marijuana? I truly I admire your choice to abstain from smoking marijuana, and I'm not going to try and change your mind, but I don't think it's fair for you to tell me what I'm allowed to do. I think that I should be allowed to, take in the information that I've been educated with and choose the safer choice, the one that I find to be the most fun. I actually don't find being drunk fun. It messes with my judgment. I do this and that. Whereas marijuana, I actually find it intoxicates me less. Um, I I find that it's inhibits me a whole lot less than alcohol does, and I just personally don't really like alcohol that much. I don't think it's fair that someone can drink all the vodka or whiskey they want, but if they try and smoke a joint in privacy of their own home, cop comes and arrests them. It's ridiculous. Um, and really, like I said, marijuana's not going away anytime soon. One out of every three Americans has admitted to trying it, and that's just those who admitted to trying it. And how lucky are we that not every one of those persons were arrested for it? Because America wouldn't be the same America it is today if all those people were. It's time to free the weed, and more importantly, free the people. This war on drugs isn't a war on drugs, it's a war on people. It's a war on me and you, and it's a war. It's a racism thing. I mean, marijuana, blacks and Hispanics such as yourself are disproportionately arrested. Um, it's really a way to target individuals like that. So yeah, I believe we should regulate, tax it, and control it versus the situation, the circumstances we're in now. There's no control over it. You don't know what's in your marijuana. A drug dealer could be putting crack in it, trying to get you hooked on that kind of stuff. The harder drugs. Whereas if a store sells it, you know it's marijuana. Anyway, legalize it. 2010. That's what's up.